Greetings and salutations, my name's David Rodwin, and this is some epic bullshit. So I was recently at a performance that was so bad I wanted to boo, but instead I decided to perform an act of self-preservation and flee at the intermission along with a quarter of the audience. If it had been a one-act show, however, I would have booed my guts out. Now some people are horrified when I tell them this. Now you don't hear booing very often these days, but it's almost impossible to avoid drowning in a sea of meaningless standing ovations. Still, you might ask why I feel the need to boo, or how I could even think it's appropriate, and I'd be happy to tell you. You see, some people have suggested that if I don't like something, I just shouldn't applaud. Others say I should just keep to my seat while the throng around me jumps to their feet. But none of that is sufficient for me. And most everyone complains that it's just not fair to the performers if I'm booing and I'm really trying to get the message across to someone who's not on stage, like the writer or director or composer. I disagree, but I do believe there is an art to booing. From a performer's perspective, I can tell you this. I've never been booed before, but there are shows that I've been in where if people had started booing, I would have applauded them. I'm talking to you, Shtetl-Tails, the Juicycle. I'll also say that performers are so well trained today, technically, that I have never once booed a performance because of the performers. So in fact, I'm always booing for the benefit of the people who are not on stage. And I'm specifically saying to the audience who is not involved with the show that if you think that this is good, you're wrong. If you think it's great because a review you read said so, it's not true. If you think it must be fantastic because your ticket costs so much money, that's just a lie. There is no correlation whatsoever between the money that you put out and the art that you get back. And even if everyone's telling you this show is the best thing since sliced bread, don't believe the crowds. They're crazy, stupid people. And if you really, truly, simply enjoyed it, on its own merits, in your own heart, well, I'm here to tell you what you just enjoyed is a Hostess Twinkie. You may think it tasted good, but there is real food out there, and you have probably never tasted it in your entire life. There are wonderful homemade delectables that you cannot imagine the taste of because you haven't come across them yet. And you can only begin to search for it if you realize the things that you are consuming are dreck. I understand that what I'm saying is deeply arrogant, but if you saw a world-class chef walk into a McDonald's and start telling the people there what they are eating is garbage, would you think that was so arrogant? Even though people love McDonald's, and McDonald's sells. Here's the thing, if I don't scream out, and if you don't scream out, people are going to keep on making the same dreck. And Lord knows I am screaming to the producers, and I will rain down upon you a verbal assault that will ring in your ears for the rest of your life. And maybe it will even prevent them from doing something like that again. Now, if you want to be like me and boo like crazy the next time you see a piece of drivel, here's the secret art to booing. You have to have made up your mind beforehand, you have to be determined, and you have to be quick. There's a moment when the lights go down before the curtain has risen, and that's when you must strike. By booing in that particular window, you're making known that this is not directed at any particular performer. This is the entire production, and it's also well timed just before anyone begins to applaud, so maybe, just maybe, even you can help prevent the next meaningless standing ovation. And if you do that, rest assured I will stand to my feet and salute you. My name's David Rodwin, and this was some epic bullshit.